in white going left to right. Throughout the game, you will notice on the sidelines yellow and red markers. The yellow is 5 meter, the red is 2 meter. If the ball goes out of play because of the defense, you will get the possession at the corner, the 2 meter marker. You have 35 seconds per shot clock. Possession here for Columbia. Coming off a 7-2 win this morning over Colgate. That would have been a shot clock violation. However, it will instead be possession NYU. Violets with its first possession. Now reaching the Columbia end. Now 45 seconds have amassed and we're waiting for the first score. Now for the hole. Passes back. Will fire. And it is pounced by the keeper in. And the Violets strike first. Took a long time for the Violets to do so against Hartwick earlier today. But about a minute in, it's 1-0. New York University in the Dark Caps. I think. That was a quick procedure. And that is off the post. Is that goal didn't count? We hope to let you know later. For the time being, I think it did count. And it is a foul. On NYU, so possession here, Columbia, going left to right and white. And it's going the other way. If that ball that was in the net did count as a goal, it's 1-0 Violets. It went out of play off Columbia, so NYU has a corner. Couple minutes into the game now. New York University in dark with a 1-0 advantage. Division 3, number 3 club launches that one out of play. The Lions with the possession. Columbia in white with the outlet. Now the NYU end is the strong side of the pool. That is a dunk, so that is a ordinary foul, push off actually. And ordinary on NYU. In Columbia's 7-2 win over Colgate, there were no power play opportunities, if I'm not mistaken. Gotta be careful here that there isn't one called at the moment. Columbia looking to, I believe, tie it up. And there's a field blockage stolen by NYU. New York University looking to establish itself in this one. And it's taken away by Columbia. This was the 2017 New York Division title game matchup in which Columbia beat the Violets 8-7. In fact, before that, NYU had been 8-0 in its first division title game tries. NYU also lost by a goal last year in the title game, and that hits the back of the net, and Columbia ties it up at 1. I think it was Cap 5 in white with it. It's now Columbia in white 1, NYU in dark 1, if the circumstances do permit. A couple minutes into the game. Ordinary foul as we are in the Columbia end. Sorry that we do not have rosters available for this one. We're glad you are here for a CWPA Network broadcast courtesy of Cap 7, free of charge for regular season broadcasts for the second straight water polo season. From long distance and through. NYU believed to have a 2-1 lead. At least one of the goals count. So, NYU has at least one. We're in a good one early on. A few minutes to go in the opening stanza. And it is picked off there by NYU Violets. There's a good pass. Inch rolls the foul. So it's going to be an exclusion on Columbia. That is the first power play of the day for Columbia, but could not cash in. This is Columbia's second game. Well, actually, that was NYU. This was the first time that Columbia had been on the penalty kill. So far, so good. 1-for-1 in stoppages. Columbia on the attack. Ordinary foul. Will take the shot to the right side, and it will be goal throw for New York University. Got a good little school there. NYU ball. Division III program. Inside the Columbia 5. NYU taking a lot of time off the clock. And will be stopped there by Columbia. Columbia finished in third place last season at 6-5. NYU second at 7-4. Cornell won all 11 of its division games last year. That might change this year. The game after this one, 2:50 p.m. Eastern, Hartwick Hawks against the Cornell Big Red in a matchup of a new division member and the defending division champ. Ordinary foul on New York University. 10 seconds. Columbia needs to get it off here. We'll dump it. No whistle. We'll go to the Violets. Violets taking a lot of time. Wow, keep away at mid-pool in a close game. Well, that was close. That play nearly worked. Those are red. Violets were nearly blue for Columbia. That was a dicey play. It came to fruition. Columbia now going left to right and white in a, we believe, 1-goal game. Columbia thinking about it. Egg beater motion, and there is the wet shot, and it is denied. NYU ball. Violets letting everyone swim up. The outlet. Looks like a player lost her cap for NYU. I think that will do it for the first quarter. We'll have to see here. It looks like we are going to the side. We've had a good one so far. New York in dark and Columbia in white. Got ourselves a close affair after one.
I'm bullfighting with Cap 7, and these Cap 7 inflatable goals are really great for a field player to shoot on at any time.
And for goalies, I would know, I'm an Olympic goalie. For me personally as a goalie, the best thing about having the Cap 7 inflatable goal is you can bring it anywhere. You don't have to have a beautiful pool, aquatic complex like this. You could drop it in a bay, a beach, a backyard pool, which we've done a lot, and really work on your own technique as far as positioning, going through lunge movements, everything else you need. And if you have a friend, makes it even better to have some backyard fun games, whether you get scored on or not.
The Cap 7 inflatable cage is really durable. These are perfect goals to have just on the side of the pool deck, especially if you don't have a lot of space for big, heavy goals. You can inflate them in less than a minute. Especially for age group kids, you got like 6 of those goals just on the side of the pool. Any little 10-year-old can grab it, slide it, put it in. No one's ever gonna get hurt. No one's ever gonna get their fingers or toes pinched. So it's really just a perfect goal to have at any pool. For lots of drills, you can set up multiple cages, add cages, as many as you need for the drills, for how many kids are there.
Doesn't matter how hard you throw the ball at it, it doesn't pop. Nearly indestructible.
Whether in the pool or in the ocean, take the Cap 7 inflatable goal wherever you go.
Now in the second quarter, NYU in dark and Columbia in white. It's either 2-1 or 1-1. It's a close game nonetheless here. And we may have a jump ball to begin this second quarter. NYU going right to left in dark, and left to right in white Columbia. Looks like NYU will get the tip. There was one power play in the first quarter, NYU could not capitalize on it. By the way, there is an exclusion. Columbia playing a lady down. So it's 6-on-5 here, and there's a denial. It is even strength. 0-for-2 on the power play. NYU can't capitalize that time either. Might come down to the final shot this game. Last season, I do not believe there were any overtimes. There haven't been any overtime games today in this division. None of the games have really been close at the end. 5-goal difference, 21-goal difference, 9-goal difference. We're sorry for any scoring inaccuracies if we're maybe a goal or two off in our game scoring. We're running into this second quarter, and Columbia picks it off in its own end. Now clock resets. The Division 3, number 3 club NYU, hanging in there with Columbia, which has won this division 5 times, most recently 2 years ago. NYU has been in the division title game in each of the previous 5 seasons. Want to make it 6 in a row, need to play much better water polo than it did this morning in the 23-2 loss to Hartwick. Each of the last 3 seasons, no team had 20 or more goals in the game in this division. No whistle, gobbled up by Columbia. A couple minutes into quarter 2. We'll have 2 more games for you after this one, here from Colgate. Fortunately, the weather has cooperated for us to bring this to you, as we could not bring you the Northwest Division from Corvallis, Oregon yesterday due to our equipment not arriving there due to wacky weather in the Northwest from the recent weeks. Net is to the left side, and it finds the hole. Goal Goal for Cat 14 in white and Columbia. And white's got a pair. Score might be NYU in dark 2, Columbia in white 2. Still a close game. It was believed to be 2-2. The first goal that we had for you might have not counted. We're not certain. Hopefully we'll be certain later on. And it's off the post. So either Columbia's leading or the game is tied. And the margin here is 1 goal. Now here comes Columbia. And now trying to find the opening. Did not sneak past the plane. Good eye for the Violets keeper. NYU looking to take advantage from the eagle eye. Inside the 5, and that is denied by Columbia. Lions trying to roar now. Ordinary foul. From around the 5-meter area. Shot fired, and it is put through on the right side. And we believe the score is now Columbia in white 3, NYU in dark 2. Columbia had 1 in the first, now 2 in the second, and we think NYU had 2 in the first. Now NYU is definitely had to play in catch-up. NYU started last season 2-2, but went 1-1 on its second day. It's exclusion on Columbia, so a power play for NYU. Short-lived. 0 for 3 so far in the Lady Advantage is New York. Lions now in white, going left to right, up by we believe 3-2. NYU, the number 3 ranked club in the Division III polls, tied with UC Santa Cruz. Fisted across the pool. NYU now on it, trying to drive it ahead, and denied. Good stop for Columbia. Carla Bezjin, last year the goalie for Columbia, was named first team all-conference, and that is West and through. Goal for Cat 3 in white makes it now, we believe, Columbia in white 4, NYU in dark 1 or 2. Now Columbia on a roll. There have been 2 games today in which at least one team had double figures. Last year there were only 16 such instances in this division. Field block there, but brought back. NYU on the Columbia end, on the near side. Shot clock, of course, around 15. Wet pass. Drawing contact. NYU takes a left-handed approach, and that's off the right post. Columbia dodges a scare. Both of these schools are hard to get into. Columbia is in the Ancient 8 Ivy League. NYU is a prestigious law program. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go in the half. Here at Colgate, at top, and that is a wet shot, no, not even close. It was around the 2-meter area where it was stopped. And the outlet for NYU in the dark cats, known as the Violets. NYU now On the far side, 5 meters. We were push off or offsides. I think that's why the player wasn't getting the ball. Wasn't sure if it was onside. Well, Columbia now looking to spread out, widen the gap. Let pass. Push off. And Columbia coughs it up. It's taken away. It's intercepted by the Lions. We'll now zoom in. We'll lob it. That's going to be that's got to be an offensive foul. Possession NYU. And look at this. This is the potatoes. Here's the gravy. No! Second effort, no. We'll take a mashed potato meal. It will be a 2-meter corner. What a stop for Columbia. It was a heck of a play that was stopped. NYU will try again. And it's going to be an exclusion on Columbia, so 4th power play already for NYU. Puts it in. And that'll do it. Columbia in white leads it by 1 or a couple at halftime. We'll switch sides and we'll be back hopefully with the correct score. Should be a good one in the 3rd quarter coming up. Should be a good finish from Hamilton.
I'm Wolf with Cap 7, and these Cap 7 inflatable goals are really great for a field player to shoot on at any time.
And for goalies, I would know, I'm an Olympic goalie. For me personally as a goalie, the best thing about having the Cap 7 inflatable goal is you can bring it anywhere. You don't have to have a beautiful pool, aquatic complex like this. You could drop it in a bay, a beach, a backyard pool, which we've done a lot.
The Cap 7 inflatable cage is really durable. These are perfect goals to have just on the side of the pool deck, especially if you don't have a lot of space for big heavy goals. You can inflate them in less than a minute. Especially for age group kids, you got like 6 of those goals just on the side of the pool. Any little 10-year-old can grab it, slide it, put it in. No one's ever going to get hurt. No one's ever going to get their fingers or toes pinched. So it's really just a perfect goal to have at any pool.
Whether in the pool or in the ocean, take the Cap 7 inflatable goal wherever you go.
I got confirmation that New York University did score at the end, and the score has been confirmed. Columbia in white 4, and it is D3 number 3, NYU in dark 3. The CWPA YouTube channel is your #1 video source for everything water polo. Check out our Tip of the Week series, Inside Water Moments, Highlight, Game of the Week, and more. Visit youtube.com and search CWPA Water Polo. Third quarter about to go underway in a bit. This is our 4th of 6 games of the day here in Hamilton, New York. Game 1 was Columbia over Colgate 7-2. Game 2 was Hartwick 23, NYU 2. The previous game, Game 3, was Cornell 10, Syracuse 1. These are the teams playing right now. It's Sunday, February 17, 2019. Glad you joined us in the CWPA network. Sorry we couldn't bring you Northwest Division action yesterday. We plan to bring you 8 games, but you can blame it on the rain. The equipment did not arrive due to the wacky weather. We're supposed to do 8 games from Corvallis, Oregon, yesterday, February 16th. The game's still happening this weekend. We just couldn't do it. Anyway, in case you're wondering, here's our tentative streaming schedule. Now, in between February 10th and 17th, there's a blank mark that was supposed to be for yesterday's Northwest Division action at Oregon State. Next weekend, we hope to have Southeast Division action at Emory. Following weekend, hope to have at least one tournament, Pacific Coast. The following weekend, Middlebury, which had rejoined the North Atlantic Division after a few years in New England. Middlebury was the site of the 2017 CWPA Men's Division III Collegiate Club Championship. It was a fun event to attend, although in Vermont, there are some areas where you'll have trouble getting a cell phone signal. So, Columbia leads by a goal here. We have switched sides, meaning Columbia in white will be going right to left, and NYU in dark left to right. And after this game, the 2:50 p.m. Eastern game will be between Hartwick and Cornell, and 3:55 p.m. Eastern game will be host Colgate and Syracuse. So it's New York in dark going left to right, and Columbia will be going 6-on-6 right to left in white. New York is the Division III number 3 club. Hartwick is the D3 number 5 club. But that will change most likely based on results from this weekend. It's a 1-goal game. Good one we got here. At halftime in Columbia's 7-2 win over Colgate, Columbia led 3-2. Didn't give up another goal. Let's drop, and the Lions will get it. Going right to left and white up a goal. Columbia now dribbling. Batted in there! And it's a great start for the Lions. Throughout today, there have been a few goals that were tipped by the keeper that couldn't be handled. Sometimes you just need the ball to bounce in a certain direction. Columbia will take it, and NYU is down 2. Columbia 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. NYU 2 in the first, 1 in the second. None so far in the third. We're a minute into this quarter. NYU will try its luck. Not rubbing off here. Here at Lineberry, Natatorium, at Colgate, home of the Colgate Raiders. New York Division action. And it's picked off on NYU's end by the Violets. Of course, toward the end of the second quarter, there was this one in which I said, here are the potatoes, now here's the gravy, that was denied. It looked like a great open water opportunity, and NYU could not cash in. Here comes Columbia. Bouncing the ball is the keeper for the Lions. In the outlet. Now on the far side at mid-pull, ordinary foul. We usually do not see multiple officials on the same side of the pool, but the configurations here do not permit one to be on the opposite sideline. 4 seconds on the shot clock. That's a shot clock violation. I think it's Columbia's first in the game, and NYU needs to cash in. It's a prime opportunity a couple minutes in. That's off the post. Not a bad effort, though. It will be Columbia regaining the rock. Some of the crowd chanting defense. Picked off here by NYU. Violet's trying to come back. Scored the first goal of the game. It really hasn't looked the same since. That's to the right side, and it should go back to Columbia. NYU led 2-1, I believe, after one quarter. And then a 3-1 second quarter scoring run gave the Lions a one-goal lead at the half. 4-3. Ordinary foul, as we're going right to left for Columbia and white to the NYU end. Yellow marker is 5 meter, red is 2. Ordinary will fire, and what a good left-handed stop for NYU. NYU has been to the New York Division title game more than any other program in this division. 10 times, 8-2, 5 appearances in a row. 3-2 in those instances. And it's going to be a foul, an exclusion against Columbia. The 5th power play now for NYU. Shot through, and it looks like we have a goal. Now NYU draws within 1. It is now Columbia in white 5, NYU in dark 4. The Violets have converted in each of the last 2 power plays. It is big at this juncture of the contest. A 1-goal game. Last year, NYU won a game against Columbia 7-6 on April 21st last year in Game 2 of the New York Division Championship Tournament. NYU then went on to defeat Colgate 8-4 to play Cornell in the first place game, but ultimately lost to the Big Red 7-6. Big Red finished the division campaign 11-0. Ordinary foul, Columbia with it. Will fire! A little too much iron. We'll give it back to NYU with a chance to draw even. So we are encountering we're entering the latter parts of this 3rd quarter. A goal apiece in this quarter. Field block by Columbia. NYU passed it back, was dangerously intercepted. Could have been a breakaway. Left-handed pat. From long distance. No deflection. Columbia fortunate and it was, and otherwise would have been 2-meter. This is the first of 3 New York Division tournaments. The first 2 are regular season, and then you have the Division Championship tournament in April, in which all 6 teams, if eligible, would participate. And there will be 1 division champ crowned. Number 2 teams might go to the Collegiate Club National Championships. One could go to the D3s, the other could go to the National Club, the NCCC. I think we got ourselves a 2-meter coming. I think it'll be the Violets' 3rd corner of the game. So NYU is 2 of 5 in the power play. Columbia, I think, has not been on the lady advantage. I think Columbia has a shot clock violation. Now this is a dangerous possession. NYU would like to score here to draw even. Now the cross. Back it up. Now for the hole. It's going to be an exclusion on Columbia and a timeout being called at the same time. This might be a timeout for NYU to get that proper 6-on-5 because of where we are in the game. It's Columbia in white 5, NYU in dark 4. An NYU goal will tie it up at 5 apiece. And we're going to go talk it over. So it's Columbia leading 5-4. Timeout in the fourth quarter. Timeout's been called by NYU. NYU will be on its 6-on-5 power play in the game out of this timeout. Columbia's in white, NYU in dark. Largest lead for any team, I think, had been 2, Columbia. NYU had a couple of one-goal advantages. NYU trying to avoid going 0-2 on the day. Columbia looking to go 2-0 on the day to conclude the tournament. Third quarter. There's a power play for the Violets for 20 seconds. Fire! And then it's wide left. NYU had capitalized on each of its previous 2 6-on-5s. Not this time. And it is stolen away. Open water. Passes to the side. Hello. This game is tied at 5. And gives a high mom point. Beautiful execution. Great goal. And NYU draws even. It's too close to call right now. 5-5. NYU 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Columbia 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. It's a 2-0 NYU run, I believe. Because it was 4-3 at halftime. Keep in mind NYU was up 2-1 after 1. Now we're on the NYU end. Columbia looking to regain the edge. Columbia in white. Time about to run out here in the quarter. Perhaps. Enough time for an outlet. There's the feed. Is there going to be interference? No. Goes back to Columbia. This is a great one here. We actually got ourselves a ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the fourth quarter deadlocked. It's Division III, number 3, New York in dark 5, and Columbia Lions in white 5. We have 7 more minutes in regulation. Will there be a team with a goal more than the other? We'll find out when we come back.
Hi, I'm Wolf Weigo. Today we're going to work on a great passing drill that gives a lot of good fitness, locking down the defense, and also works on your cross-face receiving and passing of the ball. So we're So we have 2 players lined up. You could use 3 players in a triangle as well, and sort of think about that you're on a 6-on-5. You're in your perfect position waiting for the ball, catching the ball, locking, maybe a fake or 2, final lock, and then a pass to your teammate who will do the same thing. As your teammate's faking, you're getting yourself back into your perfect ready position, ready to receive the ball, and continuing to do that. You can do it for either a certain number of passes, 20 passes, 15, 30, or you can do it on time, 1 minute facing one direction, and then turn around and face the other direction so that both players can get to do it cross face and strong side. If the sun's an issue and you don't want to face one side, you can just simply switch positions and get on the opposite side. Let's check it out.
We have ourselves a good one here. It is 5 for New York University in dark, 5 for Columbia in white. If we happen to be tied after the final 7 minutes of regulation, I believe we would go to 2 3-minute overtime periods. Last year, I do not believe there were any overtime games in this division. 5 games last year in this division decided by a goal. Right now we are tied. We could have ourselves a dandy of a finish. Let's get back to game mode. It'll be New York University in dark going left to right, and the Columbia Lions in white of New York as well going right to left. 5-5 is the believed score. Each of our previous games have been decided by 4 to 5 goals or more, by at least 4 goals. Right now, no one has more goals than the others, according to our knowledge. Now here is the sprint. We'll see if anyone can have more goals than the other. Possession for Columbia. Columbia going right to left in white. 35-second shot clock per possession. Skip shot. Can't go. Good denial there. We'll give it to NYU in search of a bounce back win here. Lost big time earlier today. Looking to go 1-1 today to end its 4-game tournament slate. NYU needs to be wary of the shot clock. Teams are scheduled to play every divisional opponent once and 3 opponents a second time during the regular season. The additional games are selected randomly. So these 2 teams mostly see each other twice. Last year, each team saw each other twice. It's 4-4, a minute into the final quarter. 5-5, actually. But we are tied. NYU on the Columbia end. There's a shot, and there was really nothing on it. This is an epic game. Largest lead for either team, I believe, was 2. Columbia. NYU led by 1 on a pair of occasions. And this game might be determined by who has the ball last. Shots to the left side. Able to gobble it up. The NYU keeper. A lot of noise you hear in the background. Shot for NYU. And it was a good one-handed block down by the keeper. And we had a timeout. Wonder if we're going to get a substitute here. Maybe a 30-second timeout. Officials will talk it over. After this game, scheduled for 2:50 p.m. Eastern, we have new division member Hartwick against defending New York Division champ Cornell, both coming off big wins earlier. Hartwick defeated NYU 23-2. Cornell was able to hold Syracuse to 1 while getting about 10. Here's the Division 3 club top 10. NYU's number 3. Hartwick is 5. Hartwick completes the sweep today. That meaning going 2-0 in a day, meaning beating Cornell. Hartwick should move up and NYU would probably move down. Possession, Columbia out of the timeout. See if that will feel a rally. It's even strength right now. Foul against Columbia. We'll get the ball to NYU a couple minutes into the final regulation period. Columbia, I believe, has not been on the lady advantage. NYU turns it over. NYU is 2 of 6 on the power play. So those are 4 opportunities in which NYU had an additional player but couldn't cash in. Columbia now trying to figure things out on the NYU end. 5-5. NYU defeated Columbia in a 1-goal game last year. Out of play. Possession Violets in the dark caps of NYU. Boy, New York would like to be rolling along right now, but that is wide right. NYU, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, none in the fourth. Columbia, 1, 3, 1, and 0 so far in the fourth. 2.5, 3 minutes in to this final regulation period. And that is to the right side of the netting. Back to NYU. Columbia today, I think, has 12 combined goals. NYU, I think, has 7. Now from good range, and it is over the head of the keeper. Into the nylon. And NYU has regained the lead. NYU has regained the lead. And Columbia doesn't trail for long. Too good to be true, NYU, isn't it? 6-6. That lead lasted for about 10 seconds. The second goal of this second half for Columbia. Third goal of the second half for New York University. NYU gives it up. And I believe if this game remains tied when the final horn sounded, well, our first overtime game, I think, in a couple seasons in this division. I did not see on the statistics from last year an overtime game. There were 2 in 2017 in the division. NYU with the chance to go back ahead. Largest lead for NYU, 1. Columbia, 2. It's going to be exclusion time, and this will be a great time for NYU to cash in on the lady advantage. 6 on 5 for 20 seconds. Time winding down in the quarter. We'll take the swig. It's back in. Even strength. 2 of 7 now on the power play are the Violets. Just been a pleasant game to watch, this one. The first 3 might have been a little bit uneasy. The first one was good too. The 7-2 Columbia win over Colgate. Now, that is from a peculiar position, and it is a good stop for New York University, going left to right in dark. Violets on the ball. Egg beater. Floater! Yes! And it's Cap 7 and dark, giving the Violets a 1-goal lead yet again. I think the 4th lead for NYU. Last time NYU took the lead, seconds later, gave it back. Timeout in the pool. It's 7-6. Did you know our website is now mobile friendly? Make sure to check out collegiatewaterpolo.org to stay up to date on league news, schedules, and new initiatives as we continue to grow the sport of water polo. That's collegiatewaterpolo.org. This is Scott Samuel David Weiss. Pleasant good afternoon to you as we bring you this remote stream from Colgate University in Hamilton, New York. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Cap 7, for bringing this to you free. Here's the Week 2 Top 20 poll. None of these clubs are from the New York division. UC Santa Cruz, which is 20th, is also number 3 in the Division 3 club poll. UC Davis is the 2-time defending National Collegiate Club champion. 7-6, New York University, as Columbia really needed to use that timeout. It's a 2-1 scoring run here for NYU, 5-5 after 3 quarters. NYU led by 1 after 1. Columbia led 4-3 at the half. Columbia in white going right to left. Hasn't been on a power play today, if I'm not mistaken. There's a stop there for NYU, which won a game 7-6 last year over the Lions. The history repeated itself. It's the reason why Columbia did not go to the first place game. Lost the first game of the division tournament last year to NYU. And NYU can't add insurance. That precious time is ticking away. Columbia can't take too much time. And make sure you give yourself enough time to get that tire, that tying goal. Maybe try to get a stop. I think that's going to be a power play opportunity for Columbia. So I think it might be the first of the game. And what a time it's going to come. So it's a timeout for the 6-on-5 for Columbia wearing white. So 6-on-5 here for Columbia. Columbia down 7-6. Lions will fire, and we got ourselves a tied game. Beautiful laser beam of a goal for the Lions. Not sure if these players want this game to even finish. It's that tight of a contest. Columbia won the first, 3 in the second, 1 the third, 2 and counting in the fourth. NYU 2-1-2-2. NYU will hurl it. And it is taken the back. And that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going into overtime. That's why you heard a huge gasp. We do not have a winner. Since this is the end of regulation, we'll have 2 3-minute overtime periods. And if we're still tied after that, sudden death. What a good game we have here. D3 number 3, New York and Dart. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 and counting in the fifth. In the fourth, for 7. And now for Columbia. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. It was 5-5 after 3. It's 7-7 after regulation. We are going to bonus water polo here on the CWPA network. When we come back, we'll get you the first 3-minute overtime.
CWPA club teams. Are you looking to have a customized look and feel with your school's logos inside the suit? It's really quite simple. The first thing is, just so you know, because you're a CWPA club team, you receive 10% off your team order. Second thing is, it's really easy to design. We simply grab your logos and you tell us where and what you want in the suit. We design it, you provide us sizes, and then 3 weeks later you'll have your customized suits in hand. Visit cap7.com, click the custom gear page, and fill out the questionnaire. Make sure you mention that you're part of the CWPA for your 10% discount.
You're watching the CWPA broadcast brought to you by Cap 7.
NYU 7, Columbia 7. We are going into overtime. What a game we have here at Colgate. Last year, I do not believe this division had an overtime game. Boy, oh boy, no team led by more than 2. And now we're going to have our first 3-minute session. We're going to have 2 3-minute overtime periods. In the first 3-minute OT, NYU and dark going left to right, Columbia in white, right to left. And it will be won by Columbia. After this game, we hope to bring you Hartwick versus Cornell. That's supposed to start at 2:50 p.m. Eastern. That will not, because this game is in overtime. Everyone getting their money's worth here. It was in for the whole set and taken the back there by NYU here in the first of 2 3-minute overtimes. It is not golden goal. Fire in there, and it will sneak past the plane, and NYU is the first to strike in the first overtime. The Cap 7 in dark. NYU up 8-1. 8-7 in OT 1 of 2. Columbia now down by 1. It will be an ordinary foul. Columbia ball. It's picked off by New York University. And 2 minutes to go in the first of 2 overtime periods. Timeout, I think. No, it's going to be an exclusion, so 6 on 5. And it will be taken care of. by Columbia. Because I thought there was a substitution made after that. So Columbia still in it. And then it's right in the arms of the NYU keeper. You hear "don't foul." Now, great takeaway there for the Columbia keeper to keep it a one-goal game toward the end of our first of 2 overtime sessions. 3 minutes apiece. Here at the club level on CWPATV.com. In case you're wondering where's Hartwick versus Cornell, that is hopefully going to follow the conclusion of this whenever it finishes. That does not cross the plane. It hits the top of the crossbar here at Colgate. It's a battle between the two schools from New York, New York. Columbia gets the clean pick. It's got some room. Dribbling. Doesn't have the numbers. Poked away. And Columbia doesn't go after it immediately, but then gets it. Will fire. Two-handed save for NYU. And that will do it for our first of 3-minute overtimes. That is the end of our first of 2-minute overtime periods. It is 8 for New York and dark, and 7 for Columbia in white. One more overtime period to commence. If we are tied after that, we'll have sudden death. If there is a team with a goal more than the other, then a winner will be declared.
The Cap 7 head guard. This product was designed specifically to reduce the risk. You can't prevent a concussion, but you can definitely reduce the impact by wearing a Cap 7 head guard. The most important thing when you look at this cap specifically is the dimples. This has been tested by University of California, Irvine and been proven to reduce impact by 25%. To put the cap on specifically, you have to have your hair wet. Okay, it's just like putting on any sort of swim cap. So I want to hook it in on the front of my head and then pull it down around. It goes on really quickly and easily. If you try to put it on with dry hair, you're likely to pull your hair out and you're likely to rip the head guard. Now, depending on the cap you have, I recommend doing this in front of a mirror. But as you see again, hooking in on the front first, and even without a mirror, I can just feel around and slap the cap right on. I highly, highly recommend this for any full contact drills during practice. It's the no-brainer when it comes to reducing the risk. Cap 7 head guards, check it out at cap7.com.
We are still in the game between NYU and Columbia, entering our second of 2 3-minute overtimes. It's Division III, number 3, New York University Violets in dark 8, Columbia Lions in white 7. It was 7-7, entering overtime. Now here's our sprint. Columbia going left to right and white with it. NYU in dark going right to left in our final 3-minute overtime period. If a team has 1 goal or more advantage, when this horn sounds, there'll be a winner. If it's tied, then we'll have a sudden death period. That is fisted off the post by the keeper. That's some luck on that one. NYU has not led by multiple goals. Largest lead, 1. Oh, look at that block. Columbia does not want to lose this game. That's the mentality it's proving right now. The Lions want to roar back. 2-goal advantage a couple of times. Couldn't hold on. NYU able to claw back. And it was 7-7 after 28 minutes. NYU outscored Columbia in the first OT 1-0. In the second, after the first half, NYU's outscoring Columbia 5-3. Columbia, wow, able to snare that one. Going left to right with 1.5 minutes or so to go. Will fire. And that was deflected. Saved there. By NYU. NYU going right to left in dark. Ordinary foul. NYU is off the post. Second effort finds the hole. And it is the first multiple goal lead of the game at any time for the Violets. It's 9-7 NYU. Getting it done when it matters the most. And if NYU wins this game, what a way to come back after a 23-2 loss earlier to Hartwick. Of course, Hartwick versus Cornell is coming up following the conclusion of this game whenever it ends. Glad actually to have a game like this. 9-7. Columbia at halftime led 4-3. I think at one point in the third quarter led 5-3. No, led 4-2. And then a goal by NYU at the buzzer at the second quarter made it 4-3 at the half. Columbia trailed 2-1 after the first quarter. And the timeout here, Columbia needs to go quickly. Got about a minute to go or so in overtime. Yeah, 2 3-minute overtime periods. Ordinary foul on the Violets, which has 1 in the first overtime and 1 in the second overtime. And that is a foul on Columbia. Another goal by NYU might solidify this game. What a turn of events. It was 5-5 entering the fourth quarter. Columbia needs a steal right now. And that's a turnover. Probably need a quick outlet here, a deep outlet. There you go, there's the deep outlet. But not deep enough for the Lion player. Ordinary foul. Time almost up. NYU playing keep away right now. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Final score in overtime. New York Violets in dark 9. Columbia Lions in white 7. What a game. What a finish. Thank you for tuning in to CWPA Network's remote broadcast, free courtesy of Cat 7 and the Collegiate Water Polo Association. The next game up is scheduled to take place after this. Hartwick versus Cornell. Stay tuned and check out collegiatewaterpolo.org.